After initializing and populating the matrix with some real data items, now it is the time to see how to print the matrix. So first, remember, what did you do to print just a normal array or a one-dimensional array? You have used a loop, right? You have used just one loop which iterated over each of the indexes of the array, and then inside the loop you have printed each of the element. Now this time, since it is a matrix, it has two-dimensional. That means it has two different indexes, which is one is row and another is column, as you can see in here. In order to print all the elements inside a matrix, you have to use two different for loop, as you can see in here. The first for loop, which is the outer for loop, that basically stands for iterating over the row indexes. So it starts from row 0, because as you can see, row actually started from 0 over here, and then it is going until it is less than the total number of rows, which is 3 over here, because there are basically 3 different rows. One is starting from 0, 1 and 2. So there are 3 different rows, so it is going iterating over each of the rows. So that's the outer loop, or you can say the loop number 1. Then the inner for loop, which is basically the loop to iterate over the column indexes. What does that mean? So this means that for each of the rows you have to iterate over each of the columns, right? So here for each row there is a column 0. You have to start from column 0, and then you have to iterate until the total number of columns, which is 4 in this case, which starts basically from 0, then 1, then 2, and then 3. So it is going until the total number of columns, and inside this you have to print all the numbers. So in order to print all the numbers or print all the data items, you have to basically use both the iteration indexes, that is matrix 1 followed by inside an opening and closing curly brace, closing box bracket, specify the row index which is iterating from 0 to 1, and for each of the row you have to specify the column index which is again iterating from 0 to the total number of columns. And this is how you can print a matrix. Now in the next video we are going to clarify the concept with a simple demo Java code.